Hello, everyone. I should be live at this point, right? Let's see. Okay, what's up? What's up, guys? How you doing? Welcome to the weekly sip for this week. What the fuck? I decided to log into the Minecraft server. Maybe I'll show it off today. But what the fuck's going on in here? Hold on. Hold on. Here. Just wait. Okay, shut up, Minecraft music. You guys can't hear it. Can you hear that music now? The Minecraft music's going. You just be quiet. Okay. Okay. I was going to show off a bit of the server, the Minecraft server, right? Because why not? It seems like the right thing to do. I'll just come in real quick. What is this fucking spam on the screen? Revenant, what are you doing? I'm going to go to him and see what's going on. What the fuck? This is one of my mods. I mean, to be fair, he's built some crazy autistic shit, hasn't he? Holy fuck. Like, this is wild. But what are you doing? I can't even talk to him. The chat's spamming too fast. Dev? The chat is spamming too fast. What's going on? Hey, what's going on, buddy? Hey, I got my coffee here. Well, it's a nice place. Oh, only mods can see it. Oh. Oh, I guess only mods can see it. Well, in any case, this is quite impressive, Revenant. It's a bit less impressive considering that it is, it is all mod stuff, but still, it's cool. The hell is this? Oh, he's making a subway. Okay. Is this anywhere near spawn? I guess I'm doing the Minecraft update before we do anything else. The Minecraft server is, oh, this is his old church from the previous map. Oh. Yeah. Neat. So yeah, in case you didn't know, we do have a Minecraft server, community Minecraft server. Anyone can play on it. So if you want to come join in, you can. Where is this? Oh, it's pretty far out. It's not near spawn at all. It's impressive though, isn't it? Like look at the autism. The autism on display is wild. It's northeast of spawn. There's an archer statue here. Look at this. I bet, you know what? I bet this is a statue of me. That's what it is. Jesus Christ, this place is fucking huge. Look how fucking big it is. This is really impressive, dude. The autism, guys. But yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to play on the server, it is open to all. I'll go back to the spawn. What's going on at spawn? Oh, someone's setting off fireworks. I never did finish my tree project. Feels bad, man. Rip. But still, yeah. You know, it's definitely getting less use than when I first put it up, a few months back. But it has actually filled out quite nicely, too. As long as there's still some demand for it, I'll keep it up. Once people stop using it, I'll take it down and do something else, I guess. You know what? It's my experience that the actual lifespan of a thing like a Minecraft server is not infinite, So, but if you want to join the community and play on it, the IP for the server is on screen right now. So yeah, why not? Man, I wish I had more time to play Minecraft, but I'm not a babby anymore. No more babby dev. Rip. Okay, I'm back. Hello, everyone. How's it going? What's going on? Hold on, let me refresh this bullshit. Refresh. Let's read a couple of the super chats that just came in, and then I'll tell you about what's going on with me, because there's been quite a few things going on with me. Thanks for the support, guys. Thanks for those super chats. Very appreciated. Where's how the fuck do I see this shit? Oh, the Rift person just joined the D Club. Thanks, buddy. Get yourself into the Discord. 10 PLNs from Jano66. Hi, Dev Boy. Have a pleasant Sipply week. Thanks, buddy. Tricky Mario for $8. Managed to find a TV guide proving Larry King Live did air on August 11th, 1993. The supposed episode where Tara Reid's mother phoned in. That's interesting, but what's the story there? I don't know that story. There's a lot of things you've never finished, like the trucker video. Oh, that's one more day. Okay, listen, get your coffees out, everyone. I'm finally feeling a bit better. Oh, okay. Listen, my friends. I don't know if you had heard. I don't know if you watched the gaming stream. I don't know what you were doing, but if you did peek in, and check out what's going on, you'll notice that Dave brought home fucking con flu at the beginning of last week, like last Monday. And then he got me sick with it, which is why I wasn't around for this weekend. I was just like, fug. I'm not 100%. I was supposed to talk to Dylan Burns again on Friday, and that just fucking fell apart. 'Cause I was in no shape. I was in no shape. I'm like I'm mostly better now. I think I think I'll be back. Yeah, Dave did some solo streams. I think I'll be back to doing the video game streams tomorrow. Even though I've been feeling not well, I have been writing. So there are a few scripts set to go. I'll probably record them this afternoon after the weekly sip. Where's Trucker Video Dev? That's one more day. Every time you ask, it's coming out one day later. But yes. What else is it? Can I? Oh! I got sent. You guys get sick every week. It's not me, all right. It's living in close proximity to people who have piss poor fucking immune systems. I'm actually fine. Okay. Trucker Video Vit isn't funny, Dev. Too bad. Okay, listen. Someone sent me a pink letter. And it's got like a wax seal on it, like closing it up. What's the stamp on the seal? It's like a skull. Jesus. Pink wax with a skull. Okay. Hey, Doomer, what's going on? Let's peel this open. Oh. Ah. Come on. Okay, let's open it up. I got the letter. Yeah, it's pink, man. It's pink. Oh, hey, C. Dranzer, what's up? That's Hunter Biden's cocaine. Here's a letter to me. Oh, wow. It's handwritten. Oh my god, it was written back in May. I'm sorry for not getting it. He labeled the 2 pages 1 out of 2 and 2 out of 2 by a fellow named Ethan. I don't want to say his last name. Okay. I'm going to read. It's a long letter. Jesus, I'm going to read this. It's a pink slip. I got fired. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, dude. I got fired. Rip. $5 from Charlie. Dev, you big gabo, thank you for being a source of calm amongst YouTubers. Being in the center isn't easy, but it seems to be the only way. Take care, man. Thank you very much. Thank you. Very appreciated for the support. Okay, let's see this. Dear Dev, I hope this letter didn't... This is, like, not the greatest handwriting, but... Okay. Let's see. I didn't have trouble reaching you. It's my first time sending mail outside the country. Where's he from? Hold on, let me... Oh, he's from the United States. Okay, listen. Canada's basically in the country, all right? I am a subscriber of your YouTube channel for at least a year now. Some of your videos have inspired me to read more books, such as Neither Right Nor Left, but I'll confess I have had the book for a while now and haven't cracked it open yet. I really liked a recent video of yours on Gramsci. It was very illuminating. I felt like a piece of the puzzle fell into place for me. Your videos about socialism have helped me better articulate my opinion of and understanding of socialism. I haven't watched any of your gaming videos, but I appreciate that you can still follow your passions, even if politics brings in the most money. I was wondering what you think of What If Alt Hist? What If Alt Hist? What If Alt Hist is a fun channel that I enjoy, but I don't know enough about to really comment on. But I enjoy his videos whenever I watch them. But I am not sure if you address questions like this in your Discord, but I am a casual observer, so please bear with me. I have heard some on the right saying that one of Mr. Beast's staff coming out as transgender is because he had an interest in anime and lolly. I personally find that to be ridiculous. Regardless of one's opinion on lolly or shota, I should be clear that it's completely unrelated to transgenderism. I was also wondering if your opinion on the Lotus Eater's more recent content. I feel like there's more of a shift rightwards, particularly in the greater use of religious terms and a shift towards social conservatism. I mean, yes, there is. Sargon's hired more social conservatives. I don't think he's necessarily more socially conservative himself. He's still an atheist, right? But they have definitely shifted rightward. Lots of people radicalized over COVID, to be honest. $15 from Tricky Mario. Thank you very much. Tara Reid was the woman who accused Joe Biden of sexually assaulting her. Her mother phoned in on that episode and mentioned a high-profile senator, Biden, had sexually assaulted her. Did you find the actual episode? Like, is it true? Okay, let's see here. Let's back to the letter. Have you noticed this, or I am just realizing the results of Carl's shift over the long term? No, I've noticed it too, yeah. I'll also be curious on an in-depth opinion on DeSantis. It seems like the right opposition have abandoned him, like sticks in the Lotus Eaters. DeSantis, honestly, he's probably going to be the guy who carries the Republicans forward. Since it's not going to be Trump, it's going to be DeSantis, in my opinion. I'd like to offer some criticism in this letter if you're willing to hear it. I'll preface this by saying that even most would consider me a rightist, and some might even call me more unflattering names like right-wing radical or reactionary. I don't know. I don't like the idea of using regular political labels as insults. Like, you're right wing. It's like, well, is that bad? It really depends what you're talking about. It shouldn't be, though. Neither right wing nor left wing should be used as insults, in my opinion. I won't prattle too much about my beliefs. I'm an atheist that supports civil democracy. I'm not an anti-porn crusader, nor do I harbor any bigoted beliefs. But I think I disagree with your premises regarding the idea that anyone other than the left is winning or gaining ground in the culture war. Trump and Tucker are both voices of dissent against Marxism and have been mired in frivolous criminal investigations or otherwise cut out race grifters and other progressive allies have only gained strength under Biden. The Republicans have pushed... Okay, your handwriting is going like fucking wild now. I can barely read this. I feel like this is the part of the letter where you actually started to go a bit schizo. Hold on. Hold on. DeSantis is an establishment candidate. Yeah, but here's the thing. Just as I wouldn't use the label right-wing as an insult, I also wouldn't use the label establishment as an insult either. It's not inherently evil to be part of the establishment. Okay, let's see here. Let's see if I can keep schizoing this. The Republicans have pushed populists in favor of those that support the status quo. What's worse is that normal people still buy into the crap put out by news companies like CNN. I have seen the effects personally. While I love my family, most of them think people like Rittenhouse are criminals. I am tired of pretending that the right or even the center has made any positive long-term gains. I definitely think they have, honestly. But here's the thing. I don't think this idea that like the left is simply the establishment and the right is simply the anti-establishment. That's not a good idea. And also, being anti-establishment is not inherently good either. Yeah. Let's see here. The mainstream of right-wing politics have abandoned reform for a slow, lingering death. While I enjoy your videos, I can't agree that this hasn't just deteriorated since 2020. On a less controversial topic, the wax on the envelope is from a Memento Mori signet ring. It's based on a replica found in Jamestown. Have you ever heard of Espiocracy? Or that new Warhammer Boomer shooter? Sorry if I don't come across as clear in this letter. Everyone keeps telling me I'm a rightist or a super conservative, but I just want to go back to the 90s, 2000s morals, but with a more friendly attitude for LGBT people. Hopefully this doesn't sound too much like a schizo post. It was definitely a schizo post for sure, this letter. But I enjoyed getting it. Yeah, to be honest, I feel like COVID kind of broke a lot of people's brains, and that's why everyone kind of went crazy. The issue ultimately is that a lot of the right wing's assertions about COVID ended up being wrong. You know, we do not live under a fucking vaxocracy right now. You're not having your fucking phone scanned to go outside every day. All right, you're not being forced into masks constantly anymore. You know, those measures, while terrible and shouldn't have happened, in my opinion, they're gone. They didn't stick around. Minecraft server up to date. It's version 1.19. But thank you for the letter. Oh, man, coffee is good. Thank you for the letter. Yeah, very appreciated. All right, even though I don't agree with most of it. You know, I'm definitely not on the right. All right, I'm also not on the left, but I'm not on the right. And actually, speaking of that, I'm probably going to talk about the Anna Kasparian situation where she finds herself politically homeless. And I think Shoe on Head was correct. politically homeless at this point just means normal fucking person who isn't an ideologue. That's it. Would I ever go on Lotus Eaters? Sure. I like Lotus Eaters, even though I disagree with them sometimes. Oh yeah. By the way, how many of you saw me on Adam and Sitch last? Last time I was on Adam and Sitch. How many of you saw me? It was me, Adam and Sitch, and Sargon. And we were having that 4-way debate debacle about aristocracy and meritocracy, if you remember that. I'm doing a video on that, and I'm doing a an in-depth video on that. Oh god, how long is the script so far? Okay, the script is 47.1 kilobytes. How long is my average script? What is my average script? Oh, it's like 4 times longer than my average script. It's going to be a big video. Okay. All right. I don't think I'd say that Sargon threw a tantrum over gay marriage. Sargon's point is that if marriage is for reproduction, then gay people can't reproduce, so they can't get married. It's like, okay, fair enough. If you want an institution that is just for reproduction, then it makes sense. But it seems like that's not what marriage is for anymore. It seems like now marriage is for the love of the two people involved. I'm not saying whether that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that the previous paradigm made it make sense that gays couldn't get married, and the current paradigm makes it make sense that they can. It's simple as that. You and Sargon were right about monarchy often being centered around competent rulers. Well, yeah, the issue ultimately is that where's the Is Fascism Actually Capitalism Decay video? I recorded it, and then I realized that I did not go in depth enough for me. So I'm writing it again, and I'm recording it again, and I'm going to use some of the old recording and some of the new recording. Yeah. But yeah, like the issue, like Americans. I'll give you a quick peek into my meritocracy video. Americans have a very knee-jerk reaction to the idea of an aristocrat, right? Because their whole the American political mythos is that the British king was a tyrant, and the British aristocracy ruled over them without justification, and so they had a revolutionary war. They throw the shackles off, and they said, "We're going to be a republic. There's going to be no kings here, no aristocracy here. Everyone will get by on their own merit." And so for Americans, meritocracy and aristocracy, there's like a clean dividing line between them, all right? Someone who becomes a member of the elite based on their own capabilities versus someone who becomes a member of the elite based on their own bloodlines. And that's it. And never the two shall meet. However, in reality, there's actually quite a bit of overlap, all right? Because I went through some history texts, and I pulled out examples of aristocracies turning into meritocracies, and meritocracy. Jesus Christ. Meritocracies turning into aristocracies, all right? I found examples of both. And then I also found why that happened, right? You know, one example was if you look at a lot of the noble families of Western Europe, they were all founded after the year 800 AD. And so the question of that is, well, what happened in 800 AD? What was the situation? And the TLDR of that is that there was a complete collapse of the European social order, and the old European tribal structure had been eroded away by Christianity. And then basically the leaders that came out of the Dark Ages were the ones who were the most effective at protecting the peasants from Vikings and the Huns and the Muslims, who were all raiding Europe at the same time, right? So it was actually a very meritocratic setup in that the most effective warlords, the ones who could keep the most people safe, became the new nobility. But then that meritocratic selection process, it turned into an aristocracy over time, right? So there's a bunch of different examples of how there's actually a lot of overlap between the two concepts. And there's the, I know, like the libertarian monarchists, for example, they basically believe that if you are educated to be a good ruler from birth, that person is more likely to be a good ruler than someone just randomly selected from the population, especially if they're running for office in a democracy, because then they're going to be power seeking. And there's probably some truth to that, but there's also probably a lot of truth to the fact that at least in a democracy, you can get rid of someone in power without a fucking civil war, right? Mm. And the peaceful transfer of power is something that aristocracies tend not to have. If there's a bad ruler who won't give up his throne, you have to fight him. That doesn't really happen so much in democracies. Yeah, Dev, you just threw your little credibility into it by calling it the Dark Ages. What? Hold on. What the fuck? There's no such thing as the Dark Ages. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you triggered over a label? The Dark Ages were between the 5th and the 14th centuries. The timeline falls between the fall of the Roman Empire and the Renaissance. What are you bitching about? Stop being retarded. So what you're saying is, to achieve a new meritocracy, we need regional warlords that will protect the people from the federal government. Not exactly, no. So like I use other historical examples as well, right? Like the rise and fall of the Republic of Venice is a great example of a meritocracy that calcifies into an aristocracy. But also, what are they called? Hold on. Just wait. What's the fucking name? The Chinese name. Yes, okay. The Dongchang in China are a great example of an aristocracy that created a meritocracy, and then the meritocracy destroyed everything. So it's not like meritocracies are just better, right? The Dongchang might have been one of the worst things to happen to China before the communists showed up. Basically, the idea. So there's been like a 4,000 year back and forth struggle between Confucianism, which is like, family based extended tribal structures and like old spirituality of China, versus Chinese legalism, right? And Chinese legalism is it's much more meritocratic because they want to build a functioning united empire. And so Confucianism versus legalism is basically the Eastern world's right versus left. However, you have like more Confucianist governments that have taken power in China over time, and those Confucianist governments, they tend to be highly corrupt because they're just hiring their family, they're hiring their friends, they're bringing in people that they know for certain job positions, right? They're very nepotistic. And they do it regardless of the quality of their work. So during more Confucianist periods, China tends to stagnate. However, throughout Chinese history, during more legalist periods, they're certainly more productive, but they're also more oppressive. The Chinese state during its more legalist periods ends up like, basically they pursue efficiency and productivity within their bureaucracy, and that's, that can be a good thing. But also they have to like stamp down the old tribal lineages in order to make sure that it's a more meritocratic system. So like China kind of shows us that at least partially ensuring meritocracy means that you have to like punish the very natural and normal human proclivity to help out your children, help out your friends, right? Because You know, it's not meritocratic that you give your kid a bunch of money so they can go to school. Like, they're just your kid. Who knows if they're the best person to go to that school, right? You know, that's why the legalists in China, they invented the imperial exam, which is like one of China's most famous institutions. It still even exists to the modern day in some ways. Um, so basically, the Dongchang was probably the most meritocratic disaster in China, and that basically the Ming Dynasty created a secret police force meant to crack down on aristocrats that were using their station to help out their families rather than actually being meritocratic. And they built the Dongchang was built out of the most effective eunuchs, the ones who were the best at spying, at at being sneaky, dealing in secrets, dealing in assassinations. They were basically the best spies the Chinese Empire had, were the Dongchang eunuchs. However, the Dongchang were so much more efficient at their job than any other component of the Chinese state that they rapidly gained mass amounts of power and wealth. They had like their own military setup, their own legal setup. They had their own jails. They had their own police forces, and it got to the point where their ruthless efficiency outclassed the every other institution within the empire, and they rapidly destabilized it. And that ended up, it was one of the reasons why the Ming Dynasty fell. Mm. Oh. My brother in Christ, turn off your stream ads. Arch doesn't have them. It's possible to turn them off. I don't fucking know how to do it. You're all just complaining. Hold on. I don't know how to turn them off. You fucks. How do I turn it off? Is there like a fucking thing? All this bitching about ads. Grumble, grumble. How do I turn it off? Where's the fucking thing to turn it off? Well, can't find it. You'll have to live with it, sorry. Okay. Anyway, I go through a lot of examples how basically it's not so simple that meritocracies and aristocracies are separate. And then, to make all the rightoids happy, I talked about the iron law of oligarchy, which, to be honest, after examination, is not that much of an iron law. It's more like a bronze law. And it's very malleable. There's definitely some truth to it, but it's not inescapable. But the iron law of oligarchy was made by a fascist political theorist who basically believed that all social organization trended towards having elite rule at the top, because even in the most democratic democracies, if you have too many people, you have to elect representatives and not just vote on referendums for everything. And the position of representative grants power, and power allows you to maintain your power. So even in a democratic society, even if that democracy is maintained, a person who is a representative can use their power to maintain their position by influencing what information comes out, about the institution, changing how the institution works. Right? There's basically corruption and oligarchy is a necessary component of all social organization. And there's some truth to that, but there's also some falsehoods to that I've noticed that a lot of right-wing creators who do talk about the iron law of oligarchy, they tend to ignore. So I'm going to go over the law, I'm going to go over how it's right, and I'm going to go over how it's wrong. And that will be my next big video. Okay. Anyway, someone asked me about what videos I have coming up. That's the next big one. It's going to be like an hour long. It's going to be fucking huge. But I hope you enjoy it. Okay. Thanks for the supers, guys. Let's see. Tricky Mario for $8. Thank you. After Tara Reid revealed this, the episode conveniently vanished from Google Play. You did a video on the allegations. Remember? I do remember, yeah. The call is on YouTube. I'll have to go find it then, Tricky Mario. But this all sounds familiar, yeah. Thank you. Here to Lady Columbia for $5. In the U.S. context, it comes to separating the private and public spheres and trying to isolate the public spheres, turning into a heretical aristocracy. Well, I mean, you kind of already have an aristocracy. This is what the people on the right who follow the iron law of oligarchy would say, is that America already has an informal aristocracy. You have the Kennedys, you have the Bushes, right? You have the Clintons. You have these entrenched families. You have the Trumps, right? Like, if you go back, Donald Trump's grandfather moved to the United States. He earned his fortune in the gold rush, and now his grandson and his grandson's sons, they're movers and shakers in both business and politics, right? The Bush family, all right? George Bush's great-grandfather was a blacksmith, I think in Texas or something, right? And so basically you have a situation where the level playing field of the Wild West of American history, that level playing field allowed for more meritocratic individuals to build up their power base. But then that meritocracy did turn into an informal aristocracy, because now that their descendants have wealth and power and land, they can actually start influencing the country in ways that random plebs can't. So there is a necessary overlap between the concepts of meritocracy and aristocracy. And sometimes people are aristocrats because they earned their place, right? It's a more complicated conversation than I think Adam and Sitch were giving it credit for, basically. The dynasties don't last forever here. Where is Washington's family? Where is Lincoln's family? That's true. But here's the thing. Something changed. And I'll go over this in the video too. Something changed in the American 1860s. Something politically changed in the American 1860s. Which I'll go over in the video. But basically, there's a reason why we hear... hold on, let me just pull up the name here. There's a reason why we're hearing about Frederick Trump's grandson, Donald Trump. And why we're hearing about... What was the Bush patriarch? What was his fucking name? Yeah. Samuel Bush. There's a reason why we still hear about Samuel Bush's, descendants, right? But not Washington's and not Lincoln's. Because something changed in the American political structure in the 1860s. Civil War, first dictator, antitrust laws. No, actually. The antitrust laws actually served to kind of help the situation, or at least slow it down. Yeah. Now, Washington had kids. Who is the 1860 family still going? Hold on. Well, I mean, Samuel Bush, when was he born? 1863. Yeah. And he grew up in an era that allowed his family to become entrenched. Yeah. He is the paternal grandfather of U.S. President George H.W. Bush and the great-grandfather of George W. Bush and Jeb Bush. And he was the son of a reverend. Yeah, man. James Smith Bush was his father. Priest, religious writer, ancestor. Then I'm just going back through the fucking the grapevine now. His father was Obadiah Bush. And then his father, Timothy Bush, was a blacksmith. Yep. And then his grandfather, Captain Timothy Bush, was a militia captain in the American Revolution. Yep, he was a gold rusher. Yeah, man. You have all these people who are kind of like self-made men. and their descendants are now a part of the American aristocracy because they were the most successful self-made men. $2 from adherent to Columbia. The more regulation, the more entrenched. That's only partially true. There are absolutely some markets where the less regulation, the more entrenched. All right. The greatest example of that is probably the Big Four. So let me just pull them up again. I'll talk about them in the video as well. Big Four. All right. So the Big Four. Was it? Hold on. Big Four Railway. Yeah. No, god damn it. Where the fuck? Big Four, not a British railway, American railway. Yeah. Here we go. The Big Four was the name popularly given to the famous and influential businessmen, philanthropists, and railroad tycoons. Yeah, these fucks, all right? They built the western portion of the Central Pacific Railroad through the Sierra Nevada, the Rocky Mountains. Let's see. Built during the middle and late 1860s. They enriched themselves utilizing tax money and land grants while heavily influencing the state legislature from within the Republican Party, because one of them was governor of California. And they used monopolizing tactics. Contemporary critics claim they were the greatest swindlers in U.S. history. So it's been about 4 or 5 months now, but I read a book about these guys. And basically, they were able to take advantage of a very unregulated market. It was partially because it was unregulated, and then it was partially because one of them became California senator, and the brother of a second one was a judge. And they used those positions to keep the market deregulated. So sometimes regulation can stifle competition, but other times regulation is a necessary component of competition. There are definitely some markets, just due to their nature, their natural monopolies, or the market doesn't function in some way. Like healthcare is a great example because, market praxeology requires that people who are buying a product, they have good information about the product that they're buying. However, most people don't have good information about healthcare. They just don't. They don't fucking know enough, The person who is selling the product is also the person who knows about the product way more than the person who's buying it, who needs it. So in that market, the actual free market structure doesn't really work that well. Because basically a free market tends to function well if people have an opportunity to buy the product many times, like with food, and they have a reasonable amount of information about the product they're buying. That doesn't happen with healthcare. And also, it doesn't really happen with housing either. Yeah. So what? So that's important, Mayo Rice. Gun Puncher, here's the thing. They enacted those laws, right? Because one member of the Big Four was the state governor, and a second member had a brother who was a judge. They enacted the laws that allowed it so that they could only get development contracts. Everyone suffers from Hayek's knowledge problem. Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of the situation, is that like one of the important ways that a free market functions is that the buyers and sellers of products have good information about what they're buying and selling. But if the buyers of products don't have good information about what they're buying, then basically sellers have like an unreasonable upper hand. They can simply sell them that's like the story of the snake oil salesman, right? The snake oil salesman is someone who's selling you a medical fix, and you're just drinking snake oil, and it's like, that doesn't fucking work, but you don't know because you're not educated in medicine, right? So because the knowledge is lacking, the free market model doesn't work in that market. And here's the real kicker, is that as we specialize more and more, the knowledge problem will continue to be a problem. right? Because specialization, it basically leads to more esoteric knowledge. Like, if you find people who are in these highly specialized fields, generally the knowledge about how the field works is not going to be widespread outside of that field. And so if you're buying and selling into that field as an outsider, you have no clue what's fucking going on. And so I think as a natural necessity of labor becoming more specialized as technology advances, we probably, just as a very broad general statement, we probably need more regulation than we had in the past. Dave, you should really save something for the video itself. Oh, don't worry. I'm not fucking... First of all, Apples, I'm not talking about, like... I'm not revealing any secrets. And there's, like, giant swaths of the video I'm not talking about. But okay. What else? Wait, specialization seems to make people worthless at just about everything else. Yeah, but that's fine. Junior Jandal. That's okay. Like, it's... You don't need, like, I don't need to be worthless at certain, or I don't need to do certain things if I can just pay somebody else to do it with the money that I earn for my specialization, right? Like, specialization in general seems to be a good thing because it takes an entire lifetime of work to be truly a master at something. And so the more you specialize, the more, basically the more advanced the labor that you produce is. You were right about the economic damage, the cost to small businesses, the dangerous precedent that it set, the COVID-19. Oh my god. Dude, listen. I don't buy that the COVID-19 vax was widespread dangerous, all right? We have not seen hundreds of millions of deaths from the vaccine. I don't buy it. Like, how many doses have been given out of the vaccine at this point? Like 8 billion or something? Like with like both first and second dose? And third dose now, fuck. Like, how many doses have we given out? If even 1% of 8 billion people died, what is that? 80 million? 1% of 8 billion. I think it's 80 million. Yeah. We have not seen 80 million deaths from the fucking vaccine, all right? No. At this point, people who are saying that the vaccine is like widespread dangerous, they're just fucking coping. It's ridiculous. Dev's aristocracy take is there are still a small group of people in charge in a meritocracy, therefore it's an aristocracy. That's dumb. No, oversized trash panda. My take is there are still a small group of people in charge in a meritocracy, and those people use the power that they get from being in charge, even though they made it there in a meritocratic fashion, to maintain their position, even if their merit falls off. And that's when it becomes an aristocracy. That's the actual take. That thing was awesome. All right, guys. All right. All right. Here's the thing. You're saying, like, it takes years for symptoms, long-term effects. Oh my god. You know what? Like, how is that any different from people talking about long COVID? There seems to be, it takes years for certain things about COVID to come out, all right? I don't give a fuck about either of it. You push the... I didn't even get vaxxed myself. I was just lazy. Like, I didn't take an ideological stance against the vaccine. I was just too lazy to go fucking get it. Oh, I agree with that, Charlie. Right? I completely agree with that. Is that you know, the actual safety of the vax isn't the issue. The issue is how hard people pushed it and how people who didn't take it were fucking punished. That was ridiculous. That was way fucking over the line. All human systems are flawed, Rusta. Of course they are. Of course they are. Absolutely. I'm just discussing in terms of the aristocracy conversation. I'm just discussing how they are. It's a discussion of how this specific idea is flawed and how meritocracy is imperfect. Okay. My coffee's already done. I've sipped through it while arguing with chat. I love you guys, even though you're my retards. All right. Gunpuncher, $5. I think the issue with U.S. healthcare is that being insurance based obscures the cost of services, which boosts cost wildly. Yeah, I think so too. There's also a big issue of generally if something is just funded by the government, that's like a blank check to raise the cost, because like to raise the price of it. So like if the government has to buy it, they can just they control the money supply. So you can just like, oh, I'll just add in a couple zeros to the price of this thing, and the government's still going to pay it. So fuck it, like why not? Yeah. So because a meritocracy can fail and turn into an aristocracy, they're the same. That's still dumb. No. Or says Trash Panda. The way you just described it, a meritocracy can fail. That's like saying that socialism can fail. The issue is that the theory itself is flawed. And when you see it fail, that's not, you can't be like, well, that wasn't real meritocracy, because that's like saying that wasn't real socialism. The issue is with the theory. And don't worry, Trash Panda, I do provide a solution to this in the video. All right? I'm not giving you the full take here. Your laziness extends to intellectual laziness. Thanks, Andrew, you fuck. Okay. Let's see here. Should we get on to things? I enjoy talking with you guys once a week. It's kind of fun, but maybe we should get on to doing some nonsense, eh? Is it time? Is it time? I think it's time. All right. Why don't you split the weekly sip into a political talk show and then have the sip be actual news? Because Shrimp Kraken, the news part of the sip, it's often not even news. Like, it's just links that I'm not making a full video about, but I still want to talk about a little bit, right? Like, Anna Kasparian's in the news this week, but I'm not talking about her this sip. You know what I mean? The show's been going already, Stanton. If you don't like it, fuck you. This is how it is. All right? Okay. Sebastian says thousands of years of kings versus 200 years of democracy. Come on. Yeah, but look at the quality of those 200 years compared to thousands of years of kings. Things are definitely different now. And for the better in many ways. Okay. Okay, it's finally time. It's finally time. Let's see what I got here. I gotta say it. N-word. N-word? Thanks, C. Thomas. Thanks, buddy. Here's my address. That's the address of the P.O. box. Make sure you fucking get yourself. Send me some junk, all right? Put it in a box. Ship it up to me. Also, please do consider supporting the channel. Get yourself into the D Club in Discord through a $5 recurring monthly tip through Patreon, Subscribe, Twitch, or YouTube. And of course, super chats are also appreciated as well. Hold on. Jesus fucking Christ. I'm out of fucking coffee. I can't drink anything. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. I got a water bottle. You interrupted Chud's stream about talking about Ice Poseidon. I like Chud. He's a good guy. Ice Poseidon, though. What's going on? Oh, yeah. Ice Poseidon got... He might be, like, facing 5 years in prison in Thailand. Isn't that right? What a fucking retard. Okay. 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 Oh, a bottle of water. I'm not a Brit bonger. Let's go. I have a few things we should watch first. This is... Okay, Soupy Cappy sent me a fan-made intro for TikTok Tuesday. Hold on, you guys didn't hear that. That's fucking frightening. Listen to this. Is that a recording? Hold on. Is that a recording of me yawning? Here, let's put it on loop. Why would you make this? Should this be the official opening of TikTok Tuesday? For those of you who asked, Soupy Cappy is a viewer and a fan. He watches all the gaming streams. He's always around. He's a good guy. Okay, hold on. Wait. The Short Fat Otaku tribute. Dev is the Short Fat Otaku. The trenders hate him. The chuds support him. Oh Jesus, he's really bloodening me up. Yeah, it sounded like a yawn from a stream. Yeah. This is neat. The coloring. There's the Canadian flag back there. Okay. I should have added sound to this. It's cool, though. Yeah. How much stuff do you have about me on your channel, Soupy? Oh, is it just a couple? Oh, dude, single player Carl. You watch Carl, too, eh? And Jay Longbone. Oh, neat. All my friends. Yeah. Soupy's a viewer. He watches the gaming streams. He watches these streams sometimes, too. Soupy's great. The channel of all time. Thanks, Soupy. Very appreciated. Hold on. $2 from Cetanis. Penis. Thanks. And Olakoa for $5. Dev, all you need is the 1 in a million righteous king, and things would be cool for about 40 years. Then roll the dice again. Easy peasy. It's worth it. Okay. Let's continue on. Rishi Sunak seemingly mocks transgender people in a leaked video. Oh my god. A video has emerged of Rishi Sunak. He's the PM of the UK. Seemingly making a joke that mocked transgender people. Hold on. Play it. Play it. Is this just a fucking... Play the video! It played before! Do we gotta, like... Snip? Oh my fucking... Okay. Do I need to, like, put it into Google Chrome or some shit? Fine.
And at the same period of time, over the period, you may have noticed Ed Davey has been very busy. Like me, you were probably seeing that he was busy trying to convince everybody that women clearly had penises. And I was reflecting, you all know I am a big fan of everybody studying maths to 18. But it turns out that we need to focus on biology to 18.
Oh my god. I mean, obviously true, right? Obviously true. But that's a cancelable offense in 2023. To make a joke about women having penises. That's a cancelable offense. Let's see. Making fun of Ed Davey after the Lib Dem leader said it was possible for women to have a penis, which can happen under the government's gender recognition laws. Downing Street has defended Rishi Sunak, saying the comments were simply aimed at a political opponent. Listen. I know that the rightoids don't like Rishi Sunak, but if he wanted to like cement his influence among the rightoids, all he has to do is say, "Okay, and." That's it, man. Just Giga Chat it. Take a page out of the dev book and just be like, yes, I said that. Yes, it's correct. What do you want? Yes. That's all you got to do. Ugh. Play it again. We missed the whole thing because another ad played. What? Are you fucking serious? Fine, hold on. Jesus Christ. Can I just like reopen close tab? Yeah, here we go.
And at the same period of time, over the period, you may have noticed Ed Davey has been very busy. Like me, you were probably seeing that he was busy trying to convince everybody that women clearly had penises. And I was reflecting, you all know I am a big fan of everybody studying maths to 18. But it turns out that we need to focus on biology to 18.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Hey, I don't know how to get rid of the ads. I already said that. I don't fucking know how. Just rewind the stream and put it on 0.2 speed or whatever. Hold on, wait. There's a manual insert ad button. If I click that, does it run an ad? I just clicked it. I'll click it again. I can just click it over and over. How many ads can I run at one time? It just... Oh, maybe that's too many. Okay, hold on. If it were a lefty, you think it would be leaked? Oh yeah, for sure. They love eating their own. Yes. Dev Gay, just kidding, love you. Thanks, Barrett Privateer. Ad spam, no ad for me. Nope. Okay. Okay. Dude, I don't know why the ads automatically fucking happen. I can't fucking find... Man, I don't know what's going on, dude. Just replay the vid. I don't know how to turn this shit off. I'm a fucking retard. Okay, what's next? Oh god, this is gonna fucking infuriate you. Horrible family calls out the treatment of a mother who died in Knoxville police custody. Okay, here's the TLDR. This woman's been to 2 hospitals. The doctors examined her and exclaimed and then claimed that she's just faking it. She's not actually sick. They looked at her. They couldn't find anything wrong. She said, "No, I am sick." Hospital said, "Get the fuck off the property. You've been here too long. We've examined you. We've told you several times you're not sick. You're just trying to get medication. Get the fuck out of here." She's like, "No, I'm actually really sick." The hospital called the police on her. Okay? It turns out that she actually was sick, and the doctors were wrong. So let's watch this and be horrified at the situation.
They want you gone. I'm talking. I understand you say you got some problems going on. You're going to have to find a way to get out of here, okay? I don't want this to turn into a situation where you have to go to jail.
Shattered my ankle and I had a stroke.
Yeah, her ankle's
Well, if
broken
the
right
medical
now.
professionals have saw you and discharged
They
you,
won't.
I got
even
nothing to do.
tell.
I got nothing to do with that then. But you got to get going.
I can't even get down there.
So you're saying that you're going to go to jail. What's going to happen is you're going to have to roll this off the property.
It's the hospital's wheelchair.
Well, you're going to have to get up and figure out a way to get going.
I can't. Please don't do me this way. I don't want to go to jail.
Get up and get to moving then. Go ahead, Bravo.
Jesus.
You got a wagon sitting over here.
Jail, apparently.
All right, young lady.
Oh no!
I need you to step up,
I
okay?
can't.
Yeah, you have to.
Pull me back. I can't. Oh my god.
You're jail.
Oh my god.
You're going to have to get up there because we're going to have to physically put you up there if not.
Oh my god. I can't. You're gonna break my
Yes, ma'am, you're going to have to get in
my
there.
ankle.
Damn,
Can't
dude.
breathe.
You've been medically cleared, ma'am. This is not going to work. So we need you to help
My
us.
inhaler. I'm gonna pass out.
No, stop. Okay, it's not working. Okay, just stop. You've been medically cleared, so we know better.
Oh my god.
Walk.
Oh my god.
Get in the daggone.
Okay.
Oh my fucking Jesus, Lord, Mary, goats. Now you're starting to piss me off. Get up.
Okay, give me up.
This is all an act. She has been discharged.
No, I haven't.
This is
I
the
can't
Lord's.
do it.
Listen to me. This is the Lord's day. All I want to do is give me some coffee and some oatmeal. I'm not going to deal with your mess this morning. We've already spent too much time on you. You're going to get up here in this van and you're going to go to jail. We're done with this.
Jesus Christ, guys.
I'm gonna pass out.
You're not going to pass out. Well, go and get in there and pass out. We'll be done with it. Because this is all an act. You're not going back in the hospital. They're not
purse.
taking you back.
My
You've been
purse.
kicked out of 2 hospitals.
Please.
What do you need your purse for?
My hand.
It's not in there. We've already went
No
through it.
inhaler in your purse.
You guys can't do this to me. Oh my god, dear Lord.
When you're about to happen, you're about to get some more charges. That's what's about to happen.
Out of my head.
Well, the hospital already said they ain't taking you back. You got what?
I got you.
Don't you dare fucking throw yourself on the ground.
Oh my god. I'm gonna die.
You're not going to die.
My problem with me is that I know it's all an act.
Oh, well,
you've
we all know that.
Don't have an
Yeah.
inhaler in your purse.
It's all an
man.
act, eh?
This is your inhaler. The medicine is missing.
Get a stretcher.
Get a stretcher.
Yeah,
Why we need a stretcher?
I can't breathe. Oh my god.
You do not have an inhaler.
Hey, it's not one in the suitcase.
Right there.
Oh, there's her inhaler. Oh, they found it.
Ma'am, you're not getting a stretcher.
I'm gonna die.
The hospital discharged you. They said everything was fine with you.
No,
We
they're
found it.
lying. Please set me up.
You got yourself down
Sure,
there. We set you up
yeah.
like 10 fucking times.
Just stay on the other side of the river. Uniform's all nasty from her. You want a cigarette?
Jesus Christ, guys.
Please set me up.
When you get out to jail, you better not pull this stunt. Because they don't play around out there.
Doctor. Doctor.
Oh, yeah, if she was black, there'd be fucking riots.
She didn't call me a doctor when I walked up.
I was kind of thinking just leave her on the sidewalk, throw a white blanket over, and everybody can go about their day.
She's already got warrant on her now. Disorderly, impeding the sidewalk.
I'm gonna have to go. Please give me a stretcher.
You better get an extra charge for this order.
Jesus Christ,
get
guys.
anything I can think of.
Impeding the sidewalk.
I'm gonna
Yeah, you
have
about
to
to get anything
go.
I can think of.
There's no stretcher for you.
Yes, it is. I'm sick. Oh my god. You guys are gonna let me die. Please set me up. Sir, please. You're gonna kill me. Please. I beg
This
you.
is...
Stand up.
My
Walk.
legs.
We know you can walk. Now stop.
Oh no. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Now set me up.
You can set yourself up.
Like, sometimes you have too much empathy. This time you have not enough.
They're gonna kill me. I can't breathe. I can't.
What's that?
Set me up.
You pulled yourself to...
Set me up. Oh my god.
Scoot back towards me.
Pull me.
Jesus.
I'm sorry, I ain't doing
Okay. You guys
You're fine back there. Stop it.
take me
I ain't
hospital.
dealing with you today. You're fine.
Stop and pull me up. I can't breathe. Huh? Oh my God. Please help me.
Just lift yourself up.
I can't.
Jesus. Jesus Christ.
Hey, are you up? I don't know. She's not responding back here now. Can you start me a 47 here emergency, please?
And
Hey,
now he
come on,
calls
sit
for an
up.
ambulance.
Sit
Jesus
up.
fucking Christ.
20 to 41, is it your prisoner that's unconscious or the driver of the car you stopped?
My prisoner. Sit up.
Oh, she's done.
I don't know if she's faking it or what, but she's not answering.
She's
Wake up.
dead,
Hey,
dude. My fucking
wake up.
God. So, apparently no charges have been filed, but they're investigating. Jesus Christ, guys. This is a couple months ago. I wonder if it went anywhere. Like, that's fucking brutal. Alright? So here's the thing. This is why I don't like shit like this, and also why I don't like the MAID program in Canada. Alright? At some point, all of us, me, you, everyone else who's listening, we are all going to be old and needy and inconvenient and sucking up resources. We're all going to be that, all right? Doesn't matter how young or healthy or productive or contributing to society that we are now, at some point we will not be. Maybe when we're 60 years old, 70, 80, 90. At some point, we are going to be more of a burden on society than not. That is just how it is when you get older. And it becomes a very dangerous scenario when you can empower the state to treat people who are burdens like this. Oh. I'm gonna look up this case actually and see if. Let's see if. Oh, okay. She died from a stroke. Yeah, she was having a stroke. Oh, the officers were disciplined. Numerous violations of departmental policy. One was demoted from sergeant to just a regular police officer. One was suspended without pay for 10 days. One was suspended without pay for 4 days. It's not much of a punishment. But I guess it's better than no punishment. Yeah, here it is. There's the suspensions. Well, but yeah, so there's a situation where, like, you know, the MAID program in Canada is expanding, right? Per the letter of the law, MAID can only be requested. It cannot be pushed on people by healthcare providers. But we have many examples of it being pushed on people, right? Many stories of people who wanted more help. They wanted more funding. They said, get MAID. One guy wanted a lift put into his house because he had a wheelchair. They said, get MAID. You know, like, ridiculous. The idea of MAID, one of the cornerstones of it, is that the person has to request it, not that the government push it, and yet the government is pushing it. So they're not even following their own letter of the law, right? So why should I trust anybody in Canada talking about MAID right now? The answer is I shouldn't. And now they're pushing to expand MAID to people with mental health issues. They're pushing to expand MAID to minors. Now put those two things together. If you're depressed and you're a teenager, you can kill yourself. You can have the government euthanize you. That's fucking ridiculous, isn't it? Think about it. Most teenagers have a depressive episode. and they think that the fucking world's coming down on them and they'll never be okay again. Imagine killing yourself. Imagine the government pushing killing you, right? Now, all this being said, there's obviously still a place for euthanasia, right? When grandma is 95 and suffering, and it's not going to get any better, right? Maybe you give her a bit more morphine than you should. Or maybe you quietly take her off her heart medication and then just let whatever happens, happens, right? And before MAID, that was illegal, but everyone did it. Everyone did it, and they shut their fucking mouths about it, and they simply bore that cross themselves, the families and the doctor involved. And because you didn't have a situation where doctors were just straight up murdering people with morphine for fun, it was only happening in these dire circumstances. It actually seemed to be a better scenario before, where it was technically illegal, but no one ever got prosecuted for doing it, because it being illegal made sure that it only happened in the most strict of senses. Basically, there's a weird phenomenon that I've noticed, where oftentimes when the government tries to legally codify something that is illegal but on the edge, they end up making the situation worse, not better, because they make that thing that is on the edge more permissible. And it's one of those things where it should be impermissible, but it shouldn't be utterly impermissible, if that makes sense. And now that we have an actual codified legal doctrine of medical euthanasia, now we see it completely unraveling before our very eyes. When before, it wasn't like that. It was illegal, but people still did it. Everyone did it. I need to think about this in general, because it happens not only with euthanasia, it happens with prostitution, it happens with drug use, where basically things that are illegal but borderline, once they become legalized, they get worse. And I want to really wrap my head around the phenomenon of how is it that legalizing something that people do anyway, how does it make it worse? I want to think about it. I want to get back to you on it. That might be a future video down the line. So, let's continue. Oh, yeah. They tell us that no one needs an AR-15. Let's see. Is he a porch pirate? Is he stealing the Amazon package?
Mm-hmm. Put my shit back on this fucking porch. Yeah. Yeah. I saw you when you got out the motherfucking car.
His getaway driver leaves.
On this motherfucking porch. You done lost your motherfucking mind. You done come up on my shit and took my shit. You got it. You lucky. You got it. You lucky. You got it. Motherfucker. You see this motherfucker just tried to...
Oh, that's funny.
Mm-hmm. Put my shit back on this fucking porch. Yeah. Yeah. I saw you when you got out the motherfucking car. You're trying to put my shit back on this motherfucking porch.
This is actually kind of funny. I like this video.
You motherfucking mind. You done come up on my shit and took my shit. You got it. You lucky. You got it.
Responsible gun owner for protecting his stuff. Good job. That's great. It's about risk, Dev. You could go to jail if you're wrong and it's against the law, but if you strip the responsibility from the individual, then the risk is gone. Yeah, so that's the thing. Very nice video. It's probably something like that, where like there may be edge cases where medical euthanasia, even though it's illegal, it should happen. We all understand that. Like, you have to be ridiculous not to understand that. And in those cases, it should just happen quietly, and you don't fucking talk about it, and you just be cool, and you do it, and then you're done, and then, you know, everyone moves on, right? Because the law, keeping it illegal, prevents all those cases that aren't edge cases from being ridiculous abuses of power. And then those edge cases, you know, I know it's unsatisfying to somebody who likes things codified, and I'm definitely one of those people. But for those cases where you just it's necessary, you just don't talk about it, and you're good. All right. Okay. What's next? Oh yeah. Okay, this was kind of funny, all right? Some stupid bitch at the panel from hell for Baldur's Gate 3 asked a question of the devs. Everything is political, even if gamers don't like that. So what moral or theme are we supposed to take away from this story? The head writer owned her. Our message is have fun. Look at how done he is, lol. Yeah. Like this person here even says, yeah, you say the head writer owned her as if it was a heated interaction. It was a genuine question of what is the message of the game that you are trying to tell. And the head writer said it's less of what we were telling you and what we were telling with you. It was heated and it was awesome. Security then escorted her out. It was crazy. This is obviously a troll, this here, right? This is obviously a troll. But like, this makes it sound like LOL SJW owned by game developer Facts and Logic. It's going in a YouTube compilation, right? That's what this tweet makes this interaction sound like, right? But I looked it up, and it's not like that at all. Like, here's the panel from hell. It's like a 7-hour event talking. Actually, I think it's on like 4 hours. Yeah, there's a 4-hour countdown, so it's a 3-hour event. But basically, this is them doing an IRL event celebrating the release of Baldur's Gate 3. They're showing off a bunch of shit. They have like guys on stage in armor and like they got like costumes on. Like they're doing a whole production, right? But I found the question because I wanted to see what it actually was like. So let's check it out here.
Does anyone here have a question?
Yeah, all right, go ahead.
Oh, hold on. I have it on ×2 speed, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, you get a mic.
Sorry,
All
chat. There's too many of you and you're too fast.
I'm sorry in advance because it's a terrible question, but it's a question you will have a lot of things to say about, so maybe it will help for the technical problem.
She's cute, though.
So, everything is political, even if gamers don't like that. And so with almost 200 hours of cinematic, you have written a lot of stories. And I was wondering, in the end, when you take a step back and look at every story you told in your game, what are the principal themes, the morals? What is the story you wanted to tell to people? What is the
Their
final
chat's going wild here about
message
this,
we have to take away from the game?
All right, we can do. You want me to do it? Or
I
you
can
wanna
do it. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, So, first of all, I don't think it's a story we're telling to you. It's a story we're telling with you. That's really how we think of it. There's so many stories in this game. Some of them are incredibly dark. Some of them are incredibly light, as I've already said. Some of them are funny. Some of them are
What
sad.
the fuck? At least it's not Ukrainian. What's wrong with Ukrainian
one
girls?
of
They're
our
cute too.
cores is trust. You're thinking about who you can trust, why you can trust them, and why the world should trust you sometimes as well. And you can be somebody who is incredibly distrustful, and you can go fully down that path. You can be the most noble, virtuous person in the world. We let you do any of those things. But it is a collaborative story. You start playing the game, you're telling a story. We have our stories. You are going to interpret them. You're going to make your own versions of them. Our message, I mean, for me, it's have fun.
I agree. And there's 2 axes of team. This is what Adam just said.
Look at this
trust.
guy's fucking
That's
plate
about the
mail.
party,
It's clinking when he
gathering
moves
your followers.
around.
Will they trust you? Won't they trust you? But there's also a vertical axis, which is the one that propels you forward. Got the monster that is growing inside of me. What am I going to do with that? What am I going to do with the fact that this monster is certainly starting to give me powers? Am I going to embrace them? Am I going to resist them? How far will I go with this? This game is going to go very, very far in offering you powers, and it will be up to you what you do with it. By the time you are in Baldur's Gate at the end of the game, you're going to be exploring the city. You will arrive there as somebody who used to be a wretch destined to become a monster, and now you are the last hope of the city. But you could be the last hope in a bad way or in a good way. You could say, this city is mine for the taking, or this is the city I'm going to save, and I'm ready to sacrifice everything for it. And so those 2 things you will find back in every single thing, going from the origin stories. Each origin story is about, what do I do? Do I resist the evil inside of me, or am I going to embrace it? And it's also about, like, Things have happened to me in the past that caused me to distrust people. How am I going to deal with it? Will I trust somebody again? And then the player can obviously be the one that betrays it or goes for it. And like this, you get a lot of storytelling that's coming forth from it. So that's basically the core of BG3 and what we've always relied on as we were developing these hundreds of stories, thousands of stories, really. Yeah. Did that answer it? All right, go ahead. There's more questions in the audience. Go ahead.
Okay.
Thank you.
So that was certainly not what this person described. Like, he stripped down a lot of the context out of this interaction. All right? And I mean, I'm not even someone who likes the everything is political angle, but this did not seem to be... Like, there was that interview. I don't know if you recall. Can I even find it? Hold on. Back before Cyberpunk 2077 came out. Yeah, back in 2018. Did you fucking see this? Okay, let me grab the original just in case we don't need to use archive. Oh, I wonder if they deleted it. No, they didn't delete it. Okay. All right. So, do you guys see this shit? This is from 2018. The big Cyberpunk 2077 interview. Half the interview is about pronouns. Like, can you play as male or female? Can you make a gender fluid character? They're labeled male and female currently. Can you choose different pronouns? Can you have to specify a gender? Can you be gender fluid? Like, half the fucking interview is based on gender shit. Like, this was egregious. This shit was wild. This? Not really. That was a completely fine question. That was a completely fine answer. I think they're trying to make a mountain out of a molehill here. Let's continue. So people kept sending me this. The Department of Justice misconduct justifies the dismissal of Trump's charges. It's a very bombastic headline, right? And this is an opinion piece at conservativenews.org. And though it is an opinion piece, I decided to look up what the actual claim is in here. So, for example, he says, like you can tell the way that it's written. You know, I'm confident they will pursue this and other lines of defense aggressively, right? Like that's an opinion piece writing. I decided to look up what the actual claim is here regarding the Trump indictments beyond the DOJ did have misconduct and is going to justify the dismissal of the Trump charges. Like, this is written like it's already set in stone, but it turns out in reality it's not set in stone. So here's where this actually came from. The lawyer for witness in Trump documents probe alleges prosecutorial misconduct. So rather than it being an actual justification, it is a lawyer from the other side saying that it justifies, which is an argument, and maybe it's an argument that'll go through, but it's not set in stone yet. Here's what's happening. Yeah. A lawyer for Trump's butler and body man, whose legal bills are being paid for by a Trump political organization, is alleging in court papers that a key prosecutor in the classified documents case inappropriately sought to pressure him by bringing up his application for a judgeship in Washington, D.C. That lawyer, Stanley Woodward, represents Walt Nauta, who is under scrutiny by investigators over his shifting accounts of whether he moved boxes of documents at the former President Mar-a-Lago's estate in Florida at his urging. The source said in a letter filed under seal with the chief federal judge in Washington that Woodward alleged that Jay Bratt, the Justice Department's chief of counterintelligence, raised the issue of the judgeship at a meeting in October at the Justice Department, where prosecutors were trying to convince Woodward that Nauta had lied and should cooperate in the investigation. All right. So, TLDR, do you want to be a judge? Well, that's the allegation, okay? Woodward alleges that Bratt had him with a folder of information related to Woodward's bid for a judgeship and told him, "I didn't take you for a Trump guy." The implication was that the judge thing would go badly for him if his client didn't cooperate. Now, this might be true. We're going to need to see more evidence. It might be true. But is this reason to dismiss the entire case against Trump over the documents? I don't think so. This might be a separate case where this guy has a reasonable claim against the DOJ, but no. This is not going to be the fucking silver arrow that absolves Trump and throws out the entire case. Mr. Bruh. Hold on. Mr. Bruh. My friend Mr. Bruh. You've decided to join the D Club and say, Dev, are you not going to talk about how Baldur's Gate 3 lets you fuck a bear? Here's what's actually going on with that. Baldur's Gate 3 lets you have sex with a druid in bear form. Why? Why? But okay, I guess that's how it is. You know what? I'm going to send this to Naomi. She's a D&D fan and a fucking furry. So I think she'll like this. Now, come on, Facebook. Figure it out. God damn it. Okay. Hey, Dave. Dave, I see you watching in the chat. Naomi's making fun of the 3 pizzas that you bought in the middle of the fucking night last night. Why did you buy 3 pizzas? Okay. Let's continue. Adolf Hutter is the new coach of AS Monaco. Congratulations. How many of you had to read this name a few times when you saw this? Everyone's going on with the Hitler memes. Take the bear pill, Dev. Get out of here. Hitler memes, Hitler memes. New territory confirmed. Here we go. Wow. This is almost like that guy who was named Adolf Hitler in, was it Nigeria? No, it's Nambia. That's right. We talked about this on a Weekly Sip a couple years ago. Yeah. In Nambia, man named after Adolf Hitler wins a local election. A Nambian politician named Adolf Hitler Uona was elected last week as a councillor. In an interview with the German newspaper Bild, he insisted he had nothing to do with Nazi ideology. Adolf, like other Germanic first names, is not uncommon in Nambia, which was once a German colony. His father named him after the Nazi leader Adolf Hitler, but he probably didn't understand what Adolf Hitler stood for. He just named him after a German historical figure. As a child, I saw it as a totally normal name, said Mr. Uona, who won his seat in the Nambian parliament with 85% of the vote. Yeah. So he did say at some point, it wasn't until I grew up that I realized this man wanted to subjugate the whole world. I have nothing to do with any of these things. So he did say Don't worry, guys. I'm not going to conquer the world. I'm going to be chill, you know? I'm not going to start looting, like, gold and ancient paintings and, like, artifacts, all right? I'm not going to go looking for the Ark of the Covenant. I'm not going to go looking for the Tesseract. Things will be okay. Everything's going to be fine, all right? He's going to be chill. He's going to be chill. A Banjo-Kazooie revival. The hopes have been killed off by the original team. R.I.P. 25 years after Banjo became a cult classic for the ages, the original team behind the series have claimed they won't be returning to the Barren Bird. Sorry, it looks like our hopes of Banjo-Kazooie 3 or a remake or a revival have just been dashed. R.I.P. So, Banjo came out in 1998. We got a sequel in 2000, Banjo-Tooie, and then a series of Game Boy games, which were okay. But the series has lain dormant since the maligned Nuts and Bolts clunked onto Xbox in 2008. Now, Tears of the Kingdom has done Nuts and Bolts' vehicle building a lot better. But there's been a lot of buzz about Banjo-Kazooie revivals. I know they showed something off like 10 years ago. They talked about it like 5 years ago. However, Rareware is now focusing everything on Sea of Thieves, since Sea of Thieves has actually become pretty successful for them. Sitting down to discuss all things Banjo-Kazooie, the people who worked on the original game, including our good pal Grant Kirkhope, they've said, let's see, they sat down and said, I can't really speak for Greg, who is Greg Mayles, Rare's creative director, but he's really the custodian of the franchise. He doesn't really like to look back and tread over the old ground, so I don't think he's ever been bothered about doing anything else with the franchise. He'd rather move on to new experiences. As far as he's concerned, he's been there, done that. Grant Kirkhope said, I feel like you have to get a team with the humor that we had back then, and that's hard to replicate. I think Rare would be open to somebody if they found the right team, but I don't feel like that team exists. Also, I'm not convinced that the audience is there either. Here's something that's actually interesting about Banjo. I wonder if I can find... I saw this on Twitter like maybe like a month ago. I wonder if I can find it again. Hold on. Hold on. Can I find it? I wonder if Tears of the Kingdom will actually cause a renaissance of Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Can I fucking find it? Maybe I can't. Maybe it's been too long. Fuck, maybe I can't find it now. Shit. It was something like... Basically, it was something like somebody posted a comparative list of sales figures for various games over the years. And Banjo-Kazooie, actually, despite like everyone saying that it was a classic, they loved as a kid, oh my god, it was amazing, like Banjo, the best game ever, like Banjo-Kazooie, throughout the lifespan of the N64, sold like 300,000 copies. Like, that's not that many fucking games, dude. Like, that's in the US anyway. Like, that's not a success. Now, Banjo-Kazooie was technically an amazing game, like in terms of the level design, the music, and like it being like for the genre that it was, like it was a great game. And for the time, Banjo-Kazooie, great game, but it was not nearly as popular as people remember. The issue ultimately, I think, maybe I can actually. Yeah, the issue was ultimately that, like, Banjo-Kazooie's popularity with early gaming YouTubers, you know, like JonTron, like Game Grumps, you know, YouTubers from like 10 years ago or more, basically hyped up the icon of Banjo-Kazooie way more than the games ever actually, like, had hype. And as a result, like, I actually think completely unintentionally, that, like, your early gaming YouTubers helped drum up a quasi gaslighting effect of how popular Banjo-Kazooie actually was back in the day, to the point that they got that Banjo and Kazooie are characters in Smash Bros. You know what I mean? Yeah, someone says Earthbound. Probably the same thing with Earthbound too. Like, how many fucking hipsters, or I guess, like, they're not hipsters anymore. Like, they were hipsters 10 years ago, whatever. How many of them are on the internet now talking about how Earthbound is their favorite game and they've never fucking played Earthbound, right? Or they've never beaten Earthbound, you know? I've at least beaten that game like a dozen times or more. Yeah, exactly, Clayton Knott. You saw what I saw, because I remember that now. Yeah, Croc Legend of the Gobbos sold as much as Banjo-Kazooie. Who the fuck, like, what the fuck is Croc Legend of the Gobbos? Like, I found it. I found the tweet. I found the sales numbers. Here it is. Okay, here it is. Thinking about how Nintendo YouTubers have dominated gaming discourse online for so long that they've shaped what we consider as popular or iconic about the past. Oh no, Banjo sold about 3 million units, not 300,000, right? It's 3 million units. You know what else sold that much? Croc Legend of the Gobbos. Yeah. Why is it that these two games that sold the same amount, Banjo and Croc, why is it that Banjo is beloved and is put into Smash and everyone wants a revival, but no one even knows what the fuck Croc Legend of the Gobbos even is? Well, I think this person's correct. Part of it is about early Nintendo YouTubers. It's very interesting. Yeah. JonTron better advertise Banjo than the actual team? Yeah, probably, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember Croc whatsoever. I don't fucking, like, I had a PS1, man. I played Spyro. I played some Crash. Not much Crash, but I played it. I don't remember. I do not remember Croc at all. Okay, what's next? Your toilet paper is full of forever chemicals. Forever chemicals. What the fuck? PFAS, PFAS, also called forever chemicals, have been found in an array of everyday products, from non-stick pans and carpeting to clothing and all sorts of personal care products. Now researchers say another everyday item is contributing pollutants to the wastewater systems. Our toilet paper! PFAS have been linked to health issues, including cancer, reproductive concerns, and weaker immune system. In the environment, PFAS are prevalent in soil, landfills, and wastewater. These toxic chemical compounds don't break down, meaning they move through our soil and water systems, contaminating drinking water and accumulating in wildlife. One way to understand how much of our water systems, or the environment overall, is polluted is to examine sewage sludge, or the biosolids left as a byproduct in wastewater treatment processes. Okay. So a graduate student analyzed high concentrations of 6-2 DIPAP, one type of PFAS. This chemical is common in paper manufacturing, used when turning the wood into pulp. So he looked at toilet paper, collecting different types from all over the world to analyze. PFAS were found in every toilet paper collected, 21 different kinds from across Europe, North America, South and Central America, and Africa. They didn't test any bamboo toilet papers, but they did test recycled toilet papers. it was pretty uniform, with a natural degree of variability among all samples. Damn. Your toilet paper's got chemicals in it. It's gonna turn the frogs gay, guys. Wow. Oh, I'm out of coffee. Anyway, not much to it. Just kind of funny that your toilet paper use. Are you somebody who only uses like one square? Are you like an ethical wiper? Or do you use half a roll to wipe your giant, gaping, dripping asshole? Because if you use too much, you're going to be the one who's turning the frogs gay now. Yeah, man. Get a bidet. Oh, yeah, check this out. The Witcher social media throws Liam Hemsworth under the bus. So, our pal Henry Cavill is leaving Witcher after season 3, which is currently airing right now. And season 4 is going to star Liam Hemsworth. And VG247 is making the claim that Liam is being thrown under the bus by The Witcher's official social media. Let's see. Yep. The Witcher social media throws Liam Hemsworth under the bus. Marketing across the globe seems to highlight Henry Cavill over the new face of The Witcher. Netflix's season 3 of The Witcher is pushing hard on social media to get people to watch the hottest batch of new episodes. However, in doing so, it looks like the new star, Liam Hemsworth, is taking a backseat to Henry Cavill. Well, hold on. Liam's not going to be Geralt until season 4. Doesn't it make sense that Henry Cavill is in the marketing for season 3? What's the complaint here? What's the fucking complaint here, dude? Just one look at recent posts from the show's official Twitter account shows a collage of Cavill-centered real-world marketing. These ads and light shows that display Witcher promotion on the side of famous landmarks point out that Henry Cavill is still featured in the latest season. Yes, he's still Geralt in season 3, is literally up in lights across the world. This says a lot about the current peculiar place the show has found itself in. Henry Cavill is beloved, and in the role of Geralt, he faithfully brought the character to life and garnered silver screen popularity over the past few years. It's no leap to say that he, alongside his co-stars, became the core appeal of the show. However, the reality is, Cavill is no longer core to the show. Following his departure at the tail end of 2022, a lot of energy has been expensed reassuring fans and hyping up Liam Hemsworth. But at this point, with part 1 of the show's 3rd season out now, you have to assume that more effort should be spent politely phasing him out. No! Not till the season's over, you fucking mongoloid! Like, what is this fucking article? What is this stupidity? Just a look at the comments to the aforementioned post highlights the confusion and frustration of the situation. The fact that they have to remind people that he's still on it just so they will tune in is absolutely says all about where this series is heading. What will they do next season? This sentiment is shared among many a commentator, mourning the loss of an actor who, in their eyes, is Geralt. Whether or not this eventual absence from the show will have a negative or positive impact remains to be seen, as episodes continue to be rolled out over the coming weeks. Either way, here's hoping that once Hemsworth gets the limelight in his new role, he gets a bit more love. Like, what the fuck is this retardation? Do you want them to advertise the new actor for the season he's not even starring in? Like, what the fuck, dude? What is this bullshit? Like, is this man retarded? Who the fuck is this idiot? Staff writer Connor Makar. Like, oh, he's British. Okay. He's British, yeah. Well, there we go. That explains everything. Oh yeah, this shit. As soon as Nikki Haley announced she was running for president, I was immediately reminded of this exchange. This is from back in 2020. Nikki Haley posts, "Follow the money and prosecute. #Antifa." And then a guy named Richard Smith with Nikki Haley as his profile picture says, "I would still love to drink your milk, Nikki." Richard, she's gonna unfollow. Yeah, she just did. It still turns me on that she has actually seen my tweet, so it was worth it. What is this Homelander ass bullshit, dude? Nikki, I want to drink your milk. What the fuck are you doing, dude? It's so dumb, man. It's so fucking stupid. Drink it. Drink it. Okay. Here. Let me read a couple super chats here. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Thanks for all the super chats. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it. $5, Barrett Privateer. Click insert ad 1,000 times so the complainers just get back-to-back ads until the stream ends. It's not Dev's fault you can't figure out ad block, guys. No, don't ad block me. Don't do it. I need the money. Dave wasted all of our fucking money on pizzas. I'll try to figure out the automatic ad playing, and I'll only do manual ad breaks, okay? I'll try to figure it out. I'm sorry, guys. Barrett Privateer, $2. If I was a cop, I'd assume that she's high as fuck. Yeah, but like that woman, the woman who died, eventually you get to a point where she's clearly not faking, right? Like, Jonathan Rossler, $5. Oh my god, my grandma died recently, and watching this nearly put me in tears. Yeah, it was fucking brutal to watch, dude. Lurker for 25 PLNs. If you want more police stuff, Google Justice for Dixie. That sounds like it's going to lead to porn or something. Tanushi, €2. Take the bear pill, Dev. No. C. Thomas for $2. Legend of Zelda related. Who the fuck are the Yiga? The Yiga clan in Zelda. They're a breakaway clan from the Sheikah clan. And the Sheikah were like the they were Hylians who were highly trained as ninjas, and they were basically like the assassins and the protectors of the Hyrule royal family. In later games, they became like technologically advanced. Like in early games, they used like a lot of ninja magic, right? But then by Breath of the Wild, there was like ancient Sheikah technology that was like equivalent to magic. And the modern Sheikah had no fucking clue how any of it worked. And they were like researching their own past to like relearn the technology. That's why like the Guardians and the divine beasts in Breath of the Wild, they were all built by the Sheikah. The Yiga broke away from the Sheikah over some kind of dogmatic difference. I forget exactly what it was. Was it over technology? Hold on. Why did the Yiga break away from the Sheikah? Was it over technology? The Yiga clan is a group of Sheikah who defected after the royal family showed concern about new Sheikah technology. Yeah, it was over the it was over the technology. That's right. Let's see here. Okay. There was a major split in the Sheikah where the king forbade their technology due to being plagued with thoughts of betrayal. Some adhered to the royal family's wishes, burying the guardians and the divine beasts, and going to live as humble farmers in Kakariko village, while some of them defected from the Sheikah and became a militant faction. Right. Okay. Yeah, basically the Sheikah were told to put down all their technology. The Yiga didn't want to, so they split off. Right. Okay. That sounds about right. Shaker Silver, $2. 3 million sales on PS1 and N64 is way different. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. You're right. Pikmin, $10. Thank you very much. I guess you could say that I was gaslit. I bought Yooka-Laylee for the PS4 because it was a good faith Banjo-Kazooie game. I played for a while and got bored. Here's the thing. I can still go back and play Banjo-Kazooie and not be bored, right? But also, I'm much better at games than I was when I was like, 9 or 10 years old. So, playing Banjo now, I can blow through that game in like a day or two. When it took like an entire summer for me to play through as a kid. So, I think the issue is that due to that, people who make Banjo-type games, they try to make them longer now to like recapture that feeling of taking an entire summer to play through a game as a kid. And they end up just like bloating it with fucking nonsense, They should have made you like you can probably beat Banjo-Kazooie in like if you're just playing casually in like 6 hours or something, right? Yooka-Laylee, I think they made it longer. So they should have kept it as short and as punchy as Banjo was. I'm starting to come around to the idea that a lot of the problems millennials have with video games, I mean, video games have gotten worse. That's just true. But also, a lot of the problems that millennials have with video games are just problems with millennials themselves. They want to recapture the feeling of being 9 years old again. But either they have more time to play games, so games don't last as long, or they're better at playing games, so games don't last as long, or they don't have the attention span to play a long game, so they blame the game for it. And it's like, well, no. The issue at this point is that you've changed. All right. It's not just that games have changed, though games have changed. It's also that you've changed and you're trying to recapture the feeling of being 9 years old and playing games that were on your level by going back and playing games that are now below your level, and you're blaming the game for it. And then when they try to actually make a game that is bigger or longer or harder, then you complain that it's not what it was when you were younger. So like, I think the problem on some level is going to be that millennials have changed. But by the way, that's not an excuse to make a shitty game. Love your videos. Hard Right Evangelical. I'm not, but thank you for the $2, buddy. $10 from Ethan Rogers. Thank you. I think another aspect is another reason is the shared aspect, the shared language aspect of Nintendo. Banjo-Kazooie fits nicely in the Nintendo canon. Meanwhile, Croc was IIRC, more an attempt to push into Nintendo's territory. Okay. Yeah, it's like Banjo was a platformer on a console that was known for platformers, basically. Meanwhile, PS1 was known for RPGs. I think that makes sense, yeah. That makes sense. Gun Puncher, $5. Remember that $3 million in sales in 1997 was actually a phenomenal success. Croc got a lot of coverage in the press as an early success for the PS1. Okay. Just no one talks about Croc anymore, There are PS1 games people still talk about, Final Fantasy VII, and 8 and 9 and Tactics, right? Metal Gear Solid, There are PS1 games people still talk about, Wild Arms, and to a lesser extent. But Croc? Fuck, I haven't heard people mention Croc since, like, I was a kid, And a Tolope for $2. They won't take my toilet paper. Thanks for the donations, guys. Very appreciated. Thanks for keeping me afloat. Let's keep going. Colleen Ballinger was wearing green face while singing Beyonce's Single Ladies in a resurfaced video. Not blackface. Oh, green face? YouTuber and performer Colleen Ballinger, best known as the creator of Miranda Sings, was wearing green makeup in a video from 2009 where she sang Beyonce's Single Ladies and was not in blackface. Oh my god, did the video like come back up and we were like, cancel her? It was shared on Twitter. Is this the tweet? I'm gonna need someone to explain the black on her face. Okay, there she is. That's apparently green face, not blackface. But like, you know what? Even if it was, I'm gonna give you a fucking hot take right now, okay? Even if it was blackface, I don't care anymore. Do the blackface. Blackface is funny. Blackface is good. Do as much blackface as you want. All right? I'll give you the reason why. Like, we all know it's jokes, right? We all saw Tropic Thunder. No one actually thinks that Robert Downey Jr. is a fucking racist. All right? Everyone knows the joke. Everyone's trying to like throw like Trudeau. We want to throw him under the bus for blackface? Let's be real here, all right? He was a drama teacher. He was fucking around. He was young. He was having fun, all right? Nobody should be fucking like raked over the coals and prosecuted for doing something that was more socially acceptable 10 or 20 years ago. That is not acceptable now. It's fucking ridiculous. I hate this sanitize the past shit. I hate it when it happens to celebrities. I hate it when it happens to even my political opponents like Trudeau. It shouldn't happen to anyone, all right? If a black person is insulted that you've done blackface, just say, okay, and? Listen, Giga Chad is the answer to everything at this point, all right? If someone has a moral outrage against you, but you don't share their morals, just be like, yeah. Yes. Just say yes. Yes, okay, yes, I do that, yes. It's like, oh my God, you're racist. Yes, I'm racist. Oh, are you a sexist? Yes. I hate women. Yes. Just Chad, yes, all of it. I'm done with this fucking pussyfooting around. I'm done with all this nonsense of like, I'm not the racist. You're the real racist. No, just yes. Fuck you. I am not going to take the moral judgments, the moral condemnations of people who are fucking immoral themselves. All right? I'm done with this nonsense. Fuck. Fucking hell. Greenface LMAO. Thanks for the $2, Anatolope. Blackface was also not okay 20 years ago, Dev. You're gaslighting yourself. Okay. Blackface was okay 20 years ago, and that it was a very edgy joke that we understood was making fun of the person who was wearing the blackface, right? If you actually wore blackface to make fun of black people, that was not considered okay 20 years ago. Yes, that's true. However, if you wore black people to make fun of the racists who in the past wore blackface, wait, did I say that right? If you wore blackface 20 years ago to make fun of the racists from 50 years ago who actually, or like 75 years ago, who actually did wear blackface, then that was fine. Because the intent behind it was to make fun of racism. All right? Wait, did I say if you were black people? Oh my God. Fuck. Just fucking clip it and ship it, boys. I'm already canceled. Fuck me. All right. Oh my God. This will be the article that gets me demonetized. So right now, send in all those super chats. I have a feeling that super chat button is going to go away in the next 30 seconds or so. All right. So go ahead. All right. Now's the time. Send the money. Do. Womp womp. $5 from Barrett Privateer. Thank you. Trudeau goes on about race and inclusivity, though. That's why him doing blackface is such a joke. He's an immoral person hyping his morals. Yep. I agree with you. Yeah. Okay. This article will get this stream demonetized. Here we go. Yes, that is an anus and a ball sack. I'll zoom in on it for you. YouTube refuses to remove video of a man displaying his anus, saying that it's been no violation of their policies. $2 from Ian. When's the Pride video coming? Soon. Ballcraft, $2. No. Thanks, guys. So, yeah. This is a video of this guy. He's removing his butt hairs using Nair cream as part of his educational bottoming course. Here's how you bottom. So YouTube has decided this video in question is not violative of our content policies, but it may not be appropriate for viewers under 18. So they placed an age restriction on the video, but they have not removed it. Now, to be honest, This actually, there's tons of porn on YouTube under the guise of shaving tutorials. There's also tons of porn on YouTube under the guise of workouts, right? Where they'll be like, I'm working out naked, so you can actually see like the form, and it's just like a hot naked chick who's like gyrating around on camera. Yeah, like there obviously is an instructional aspect to this, right? Like if you wanted to wax your fucking butt hairs off yourself and you wanted to see how it looked and how it works, yeah, okay. This doesn't have to be pornographic, right? And this is probably the right call, making it not appropriate for viewers under 18, but leaving it on the platform. Just making you sign in, making sure you're over 18. That's probably a reasonable call. But it's fucking funny that this is what YouTube's doing in this case when they outright delete videos that are way more fucking tame than this. All right. Yeah. So YouTube's clarified that a viral, uncensored video of a man removing hair from his butt does not violate its terms of service. The video, titled Removing Butt Hairs Using Nair Cream, a Visual Guide, features YouTuber and self-described gay sex educator Kevin Leonardo. In the uncensored video, Leonardo is seen promoting Nair hair removal cream while exposing his testicles and anus to the viewers in high definition. Jesus, right in there. Although the disturbing video was met with disgust from both fans and critics alike, many of whom felt disgusted after seeing such a vivid close-up of Leonardo's private regions, the content creator responded to the backlash on Twitter with apparent gratitude for all the attention the video has garnered. It's gotten 13 million views. Oh my god. Wow. Oh, he also did a sexual role play in which he acted out being an underage sex slave on Jeffrey Epstein's island. What the fuck? Okay, this guy just seems fucking weird, dude. Like, alright, dude. Okay. YouTube demonetized the Lotus Eaters, but this is fine, yeah. Yeah. Okay, listen. We're not gonna watch it. What was his fucking name again? Kevin Leonardo. Okay. We're not gonna watch it, but I'm gonna watch it on a different monitor. Jesus, it's a fucking like Asian twink, because of course it is. It's at 22 million videos. Okay, listen. You guys should be able to hear it. This video may be inappropriate for some viewers.
For reference, this is how hairy my butt is right now.
Wow! 3 seconds in, he says, this is how hairy my butt is right now. And 3 seconds in, he's just spreading his cheeks and you see like directly into his asshole. Holy fuck! Like, yep, it's right there. It's taking up the whole fucking screen. Yeah, everyone in the chat, everyone in the comments are like, you went straight to the point with no warning. Raw, uncut, no clickbait, straight to the point, just like a tutorial should be. This is the most honest and straight to the point tutorial I've ever seen in my life. No unnecessary introduction, straight to the point. Best educational video, straight to the point. I'll give him props for going straight to the point. Video is not purposely overextended for 10 minutes. Very informative, straight to the point from the first second. More videos should be like this. I'm traumatized, but at least he had the balls to show us. Oh. My God. Oh my God, dude. That's That's wild. Holy fuck. Okay. Here, let me do this in the next round of super chats. Okay. Dixie is a dog, says Lurker. I don't know what you're... Oh, that's in reference to a previous one about searching up something about Dixie. That's a dog pill thing, isn't it? Oh, fuck you. Okay. Spartacus for $30. Thanks, buddy. For the cancellation fund. Very appreciated. Tricky Mario for $2.99. YouTube's a joke. Yeah, it kind of is. Tyler Potter for $5. Assuming you like The Witcher, have you heard about Elric of Melnibone? Have you heard about the blatant plagiarism that surrounds The Witcher? No, I haven't. That's all news to me. Anatolope, USD $2. Imagine if 13 million people saw your anus. I don't know. You know, if I got $1 for every person who saw my anus and 13 million people saw my anus, I'd probably take that payout. That's $13 million, dude. Fuck yeah, why not? Sounds good to me. Let's continue. I thought my boyfriend of 10 years was going to propose to me. Then he told me he was trans. I considered myself an LGBTQ ally, but I wasn't prepared for the shock and confusion I'd feel when the person I'd thought I'd spend my life with told me their secret. Are you a bigot? You won't date a trans person, you bigot? It was 3 a.m., and I'd had a lot to drink. 2 reasons why I was pressing my boyfriend of 10 years on why he hadn't yet proposed. We were strong and happy and loved each other madly. So his reticence seemed ludicrous to me when sober, let alone drunk. I suspect it was because my ceaseless questioning that ultimately blew a fuse in his brain, because that's when he told me a secret. When I woke up, he was gone. I watched his WhatsApp status like it was the heart monitor of an ailing relative. The second I saw online, I called and asked him to come home, to talk, to answer the questions I'd scribbled illegibly on a half-folded piece of A4 paper. He walked through the door and sat down, his face masked with fear. What were you trying to tell me? I asked hopefully, all too aware of how different things can look when alcohol is no longer shaping your every thought. I have gender identity issues, he blurted, eyes fixed on the floor. I just don't identify with being male. My throat thickened. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I knew this person better than anyone in the world, but could no way reconcile him with the words coming out of his mouth. Well, what do you identify with? I pleaded, panicking. I don't know, like non-binary or, oh my god, what was you about to say? Trans? The word flooded my body with a surreal disbelief. I was already sure, cold and empathic. This was done. We were done. But why? He implored. Because I don't want to be with a woman. It was surprising to me how obvious this fact was, because everything else was suddenly underwater. But I don't know how far it will go yet. I don't know anything yet, except that our relationship is more important than my gender. To be fair, if this was true, if your relationship was actually more important than your gender, then you would give up your gender for your relationship, right? That might sound heartless, maybe even unrealistic, but if it's more important, that's the priority. But, okay. My questions were redundant. Their purpose was to establish where we go from here, but in the private theater of my mind, the curtains closed at every turn. Soon, my sister was outside. I tried to articulate why I'd asked her to collect me and why I had a suitcase. She knew something was wrong, but she didn't know the magnitude. He thinks he might be Anne's. I couldn't get it out of my mouth. What are you saying, Phoebes? He thinks he might be trans. We stood on the dark street, cobbles glossed with rain, and wept. Her tears soaked my shoulder and mine hers. We drove back to her place. I sat in silence, numb, watching the rain blur the brake lights in front of me while she continued to sob. For me, for him, and I guess for the future brother-in-law she just lost. Jesus Christ, this is a long fucking article of just her crying. Hold on. Wait. they had sex anyway after she broke up with him and he was transitioning? Oh god, there's a passage about Ukraine here. What the fuck? What a worthless fucking article. I thought you'd still love me, but I didn't think you'd be able to see me like that again. Well, did he try? It sounds like she tried. Yeah. This is 2022. Love is love, and if Harry Styles says it's okay, then it's oh fucking K. I didn't fall in love with a trans woman. I fell in love with a person who happens to feel like their body is a burden, who just wants to be a little more femme. You know, how about this? I wonder if women could actually accept being with like a femboy. I mean, they're not women, femboys. They don't identify as women. They're just like girly guys. Maybe. I mean, maybe. For me and for him, I think she meant them. Yeah, why would you even publish this? Like, what the fuck is this? Yeah. Reality soon careered into view. If I was going to be a beautiful woman, I'd have to have transitioned when I was a teenager. Now I'm scared and I'm going to be ugly. He mentioned hormones with earth-shattering nonchalance, saying he'd wait a year to see how he felt about the superficial stuff. Clothes, piercings, hair, and then make a decision. I read that estrogen can make a man infertile in as little as 6 months. 6 months! I desperately wanted his child, though the impulse was quickly supplanted by a surge of uninspired rage. If I can't have his baby, then no one should be able to. And so, I silently willed him to start taking the hormones as soon as medical sign-off would allow. A biting form of closure. Jesus! You're trans? And you won't, and I can't date you anymore? Well, fuck you. I want you to be infertile. What, like, everyone's fucking weird in this conversation. Holy shit. The devastatingly handsome boy I met on the first night of university, whom I'd grown up with and built a home and a life with, who was by my side when my dad was sick, who ran me baths and made me ramen, with whom I shared an ocean of hopes and dreams, could or would no longer be mine. And now what? I felt exposed. I was doing everything differently, sheepishly, whether ordering coffee at the place I always had, or re-registering with the same estate agents who'd shown us around family homes. Meanwhile, it felt like he was on a rocket ship to the moon. Try sitting at home with only antidepressants for company, while your ex is at a dinner party with your best friends, extolling the virtues of full coverage foundation. Then try hearing that the male contingent put on makeup too. And not only that, but that they skipped down to the nail salon with him the next day. He got blue nails plus a set of new they-them pronouns. It's very strange. Like, this person's left-leaning, but she's writing about trans stuff with like so much vitriol. You know what I mean? It's what a weird situation. Oh, fuck. There was inevitable suffering behind the scenes, and truly I wanted nothing more than my ex to feel safe and supported. But watching those closest to me celebrate the erosion of the person I loved was crushing. I knew my ex's pain had roots far deeper and more gnarly than mine, but my anger began to bubble. It transpired they'd had a near identical conversation to the one we'd had that fateful night, with a mutual friend months previously. And they'd been engaging with trans social media accounts for over a year. Seeing a fire emoji, merely a sign of solidarity, left on a trans woman's Instagram from June 2021, scorched a hole in my heart. I was mad at those who professed to get it because they too had been through a breakup. I had dived into a swimming pool, but that does not make me Tom Daly. I knew it came from a good place, but please, no, it's not the same. I don't want to deny anyone their own suffering, and I know that there's commonality in heartbreak and loss, but not the shame, not the guilt, not the incredulity. And so I reached out to a support group called SPA, Straight Partners Anonymous. You've come to the right place, they told me. We have a growing number of trans widows who will very much identify with your difficult situation and the issues it raises. I wasn't all that keen on my new label, but I agreed to meet someone else in possession of it regardless. Then the reversing beep of regret, because as it happened, she and her partner had decided to stay together, and I felt ashamed all over again because I couldn't do that. Wow. Mm. Anyway, this is kind of unbearable. "7 months on, I'm proud of my ex for having the courage to utter the words and the conviction to follow them through, crop tops and all. There are many things they will never understand about my experience, but there are far more I will never understand about theirs. The image of them at the dinner party that night, high in the fumes of their authentic self, no longer sucks the breath from my lungs. And now I'm confident that in the not-too-distant future, we will sit together at a table and reminisce about our imperfect, profuse, and untamed love, and raise a glass to the fact that they've never been happier." Wow. Why would you publish this? Like, why does The Guardian suck so much? All right, okay. Emile Morel, the Beyond Good and Evil 2 creative director. He dies suddenly at 40. We are never getting Beyond Good and Evil 2. We're never getting it. We're never fucking getting it, guys. Fuck me. Of course, it's also tragic that he's dead, but we're never getting it. Emile Morel, a Ubisoft game designer and creative director for Beyond Good and Evil 2, has passed away at the age of 40. The announcement was originally spotted by IGN on LinkedIn, where two individuals that work with Morel made tributes on the website. A cherished colleague for over a decade at Ubisoft Montpellier, we laughed and wept through good times and bad and shipped a lot of great games together. He was so very proud of Beyond Good and Evil 2, the Space Monkeys, and his teammates. He will be sorely missed. He began working at Ubisoft in June 2009. He was involved in Rayman Legends, and he was involved in Beyond Good and Evil 2, serving as the associate creative director, before taking over as full creative director, following the departure of Jean-Marc Jeffrey. Yeah. Fuck. And here's a statement from the company. "It is with a heavy heart that we share the sudden passing of our friend and colleague Emile Morel. We send our deepest condolences to his family, friends, and teammates all over the world. We would like to take a moment to acknowledge the significant impact he made over the years on different games that make up the rich history of our studio. We will never forget Emile and his immense contribution to the Beyond Good and Evil 2 universe will forever endure." Wait, isn't it the Beyond Good and Evil universe? Okay, all right, sure. Yeah, so the game, despite being made for the past 15 years, is still in pre-production. I loved Beyond Good and Evil 1. I loved that game back in the day. And we're never seeing the second one. We're never seeing the second one. Fuck. Here's our headline picture, guys. "Mother arrested after viral video shows Georgia girl being dragged by her hair." Jesus fucking Christ. Would you... I was thinking, like, what is this fucking thing? Get out of here. A video that went viral on social media ended with Georgia deputies arresting a mother on child cruelty charges. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office became aware of the video that shows a woman dragging a young girl by her hair through a yard. The woman is also seen hitting the child in the face. The woman was identified as Samaria White. The video was taken by a concerned neighbor whose children were playing at White's home, according to the arrest report. The neighbor told deputies that White got mad and sent everyone home. She then saw White chasing after her daughter, and then that's when the neighbor started recording. Okay. According to the arrest report, deputies went to White's home and asked her about the incident. Deputies say she said she denied dragging her daughter. The child was taken to the hospital after redness on her chest started to bruise. Deputies booked her into jail on cruelty to children in the first degree. Is this the video? No, this is a different video. Wait. This is another child abuse fucking thing. A North Carolina couple accused of abusing their child has been on the run for months. What the fuck is with everyone abusing their kids? Calm the fuck down with that shit. Oh. This was posted to r/genealogy. 23andMe for trans people? I convinced my friend to take a 23andMe DNA test for fun. She was born male, but now identifies as female. And her results came back with a Y DNA haplogroup and only one chromosome. This was really problematic. And only one X chromosome. This was really problematic for her and made her feel uncomfortable. Does anyone know if 23andMe makes any accommodations for trans people? Has anyone here had any experience with it? Listen. Do a fucking DNA test. Alright? You're biologically male. You have X and Y. That's how it is. Alright? That's how it fucking is. This is retarded. This is actually fucking retarded. Houston, Texas couple arrested in alleged road rage shooting involving a young child. What the fuck, guys? 2 people have been arrested in Texas following an alleged road rage incident involving a 2-year-old on Tuesday, just north of Houston on I-45. Video of the encounter shows one man slamming his hands onto a silver Toyota Camry as a woman fired a gun into the car's window while a man and child were inside. As the car sped away, the woman was seen firing a second shot into the vehicle. The suspects then rushed to get back into their black pickup truck, the video showed. Holy fuck. They arrested and booked into Harris County Jail on Tuesday night. She's been charged with aggravated assault, and he's been charged with aggravated assault. No, she's been charged with aggravated assault with the weapon. All right. The judge did not set bail for either suspect. They're both now assigned. Okay. The victim was taken to the hospital for a grazing wound. All right. The 2-year-old inside the vehicle was his nephew, who was hit by shattered glass, but he's okay. A nearby car dealership was also hit by one of her shots, but no one was injured. Like, what the fuck? Is this a video? Oh, I gotta, okay, fuck it, whatever. Like, you're just gonna shoot? Road rage, anger, just shoot the other car. What the fuck, man? That's some wild ass bullshit. Okay, give me a second here real quick. Give me a moment. Okay. Yankee moment. Fucking Yankee moment, dude. Okay. And finally, former Nashua lawmaker charged with distributing sex abuse images. Former state representative Stacey Marie Lawton of Derry, the first openly transgender person elected to the New Hampshire? Yeah, New Hampshire House of Representatives, was arrested Thursday by Nashua police on charges that she allegedly distributed child sexual abuse images. On June 20th, Nashua police responded to a local facility for a juvenile matter. Officers spoke with individuals there who indicated Lawton allegedly distributed sexually explicit images of children. Detectives, by the way, what a terrible fucking photo. Like, dude, you don't pass at all. Not fucking 1%. Detectives from the Special Investigations Division applied for and were granted a warrant for Lawton's arrest. She was arrested. It's so weird saying she for a person like this, all right? It makes sense to say she for Blair White because Blair White looks like a woman. This person does not. Okay. She was arrested Thursday with the distribution of child sexual abuse images. She was also charged with 3 additional counts of This isn't funny. This isn't funny. Jesus. She was also charged with 3 additional counts of distribution of child sexual abuse images. Lawton was held on preventative detention and is scheduled to be arraigned at Hillsborough Superior Court. Lawton, a former Democratic state representative from Nashua, resigned her Ward 4 seat in the House in December of 2022. At the time, Lawton posted a video on Facebook announcing her resignation to her family, friends, and supporters. As of today, I'm no longer a state representative, which is very disappointing, but I'm going to come back to it. I'll be attending mental health court and getting some counseling and trying to get my life back on track. I'm not perfect. Even in the future, I still won't be perfect, but I'll be a better version of myself and better able to handle situations that come my way. In 2 years, in the next state election, I will run for state representative again. Well, it turns out you didn't. Turns out you started distributing child porn. Lawton was arrested for stalking in September of 2022, and then again later in that same year. Lawton was arrested on a warrant in Hudson for a stalking order charge and accused by police of communicating with the victim on social media. Lawton was also accused of stalking and harassment. Oh my God. After it became clear that Lawton wasn't present at the State House for the swearing-in of House members on Organization Day in December of 2022, New Hampshire Democratic Party Chair Ray Buckley called on Lawton to resign. Lawton said she's been dealing with a lot in her Facebook video. I'm alive, I'm safe, I'm well, I'm not suicidal, and just trying to get by every day with what I've been dealt. I don't know what the future holds, but I do know this. There's a lot of good opportunities out there for me to serve, and a lot of good opportunities for me to still stay connected with everyone, and I plan to do that. In 2008, Lawton was convicted of a conspiracy to commit credit card fraud while living in Laconia as a man. After winning an election in 2012, Lawton resigned after the felony conviction came to light. And in 2015, Lawton was sentenced to a suspended 6-month jail term for reporting a bomb threat at a local hospital and voluntarily admitted herself into a mental health and addiction facility in Vermont. Like, this person just has a shit ton of fucking crimes. And I don't know how this person managed to win 2 separate elections, but apparently it's fucking going on. Fuck. What a scumbag, dude. That's all the articles I have for you today. There's the P.O. Box. Please consider mailing me stuff. I'll open it on the channel. And also, please consider joining the D Club in Discord. $5 a month recurring tip through Patreon, Subscribestar, YouTube memberships, or Twitch subs, if you don't mind. Let's read the final super chats and we'll go raid somebody. Let's go raid Chud Logic in a minute. Okay? Here's the final super chats. Let's see. Lurker. He sent me 2 super chats saying the same thing. Hungry thinking about bread. Dev, you fucking perv. What the? Okay, alright. Okay. Thanks, man. Willowzin, $2. Her husband fell into a fetish and a cult, simple as. Yeah, probably. I mean, maybe not, but probably. Like, I think people who, like, hit their midlife crisis, they're, like, fucking 35, 40, they're like, I think I'm trans. No, you're just getting old, alright? Someone who actually has gender dysphoria that's real, they know it from, like, 3 years old. Like, they fucking know when they're young that something's wrong with them. And they can't articulate it until puberty, but they know something's going on. The experience of every actual trans person I've met is that. It's not like the, oh, you know, like, I fucking know one guy. I know one dude. Like, he decided to transition at like 35, and I'm like, why? And he's like, well, my brother just died, and I'm kind of depressed. And I'm like, and I was like, that's not a fucking reason. He's like, well, I also cross-dress sometimes, and it's kind of fun. And that means you have a fetish, all right? Your brother dying does not fucking make you trans. Christ. Okay. Anyway. Adherent Lady Columbia for $2. Stories like this make me happy I'm single. All right. Thanks, man. Morse Apple, $5. This is where immutable sex preference meets progressivism. Yeah, pretty much. It's like, suck the dick, bigot. Yeah. Hylian Juggalo, $20. Thank you. If you make a video on the state of pride, you must address the slippery slope that Christians are proven correct. We must address the tactic support moderates who scream not all but do nothing to stop the negative image. I mean, fair enough, right? But, like, I don't want a slippery slope the other way, where because we put a stop to the weird pedo shit that's, like, starting to come out, that means that we also must put a stop to gay marriage. No. There's no reason to do that. Karakin, $2. Looking forward to a future 4-hour SFO vid. Oh my god. I don't know if I'd fucking survive doing a 4-hour vid. Thank you, though. Willowson, $5. Remember how Ubisoft was a company that forces their employees to get multiple jabs? Died suddenly indeed. I don't know. I don't buy the died suddenly meme. Like, it's easy to see a dozen headlines and be like, oh my god, it's happening everywhere. But, like, the actual stats don't play it out. Fondue, $2. Some kids deserve cruelty, Dev. What the fuck? What? Okay. Tricky Mario, $8. Thank you. Blair White, Sophia Narwitz, Lilith Lovett are definitely she's, not this creep. Go on the wood chipper. Yep, I completely agree. Fondue, $5. Vote blue no matter who. That's how maps win elections. Yeah, pretty much. Antelope for $2. Will you ever do a new subreddit Sunday? I don't know. Do you guys actually want me to do like a subreddit Sunday at some point? Subreddit Sunday instead of TikTok Tuesday. I said that as like an offhanded joke, but if you guys actually want it. Hey, Flamenco, what's up? Oh, man. Water's good. Okay. Everyone get your fucking coffee cups ready. Right here. Right here. Right here. Get them ready. 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 We're doing it. Get your coffee cups ready because we're going to go fuck over someone's chat room. Wait, is it just Chud Logic who's still online? I was going to raid Mauler, but I think Mauler went offline. I'll get one more refresh. Anyway, still working on videos. I'll be back tomorrow for streams, for like the gaming stream. And by the way, watch the fucking gaming stream, all of you. All 400 of you who are still here, you'd better show up at the gaming stream tomorrow night, or else I will murder all of you in Minecraft. I'm back to the gaming streams tomorrow. I'm back making videos again. Everything's fine. Get your coffee cups ready. $5 right before we leave. Eternal Day Cumbia. Thank you. I have a phrase for modern people. Everyone's now parody. So many people are becoming the most hyper parody of a thing. And they don't seem to embrace it. Yeah. Like, millennial sarcasm served a purpose, but now it's like deconstructed everything. It's destroyed everything. Authenticity is what we need now. Which is what I try to be. Authentic. Okay. We're going to go sip our way over to Chud Logic. Have a nice day, big boned pasta man. Any plans for a video on digital currency? I have no clue anything about digital currency right now. Okay, let's go. Make sure to flood the Chud Logic chat with sips. Let's go, guys. I will see you later. I love you.